Hello Aries, thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Lima Tarot. Let's see if I can block out the... Wait, is this... No, this is what I want to move. There we go. The Lima Tarot by Renata Lechner. And the supportive cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I can see myself well, so I'm assuming you guys can too. I'll find out quickly enough when I load these up. Alright. Already shuffled. All the oracle cards, there's only 4 of them, but they're all face down. So let's see where this goes. When you're coming into this time frame, you got the Justice card. And this, I feel like I've done, I don't know if I did this channel read, but it feels like a reading I've already done. Whatever happened in the past, it did work out fairly. It did. According to this card. Because I feel like some of you might be like, I don't know about that. And I can almost feel like myself agreeing with that. But they're telling me spiritually it worked out. It worked out. It worked out fairly. But this is also saying this is something from the past. Even though it worked out fairly, there may be a little bit of a hard feeling, a hard, difficult mood, something there connected to it. Because I'm getting like that happened. This feels like I've done this reading before. It's interesting. And you got the Fool card going right after it. Which is telling me, whatever it turned out to be, you just kind of went with it. You're moving on from it. I'm still not feeling you exactly feel that it did work out completely fairly. But you're like, it is what it is, moving on. And the Fool card makes me feel like whoever you have to work with or deal with due to this situation, you're not really thinking about the situation in the past. You don't really want to, is what I'm getting. You're kind of letting it be what it is, and you're moving on from it. I really feel like you're moving on from it. Best foot forward is kind of the Fool feeling there. Now, you're coming into this current time, I'm feeling, with the Three of Wands energy. You're moving forward, you're getting into something, you're going forward with something. This can be a tribal card, granted. But the reason this is popping up with this information from the past is something from that past you're pulling along with you. Something from this moment that worked out fairly, but you kind of like, alright, whatever, and you moved on. You're pulling some of that with you into the future. And I'm getting here in the center, you might be explaining or talking out with someone else, like, we're getting involved in this and that and the other thing, and quite frankly, I'm not going to have this work out the same way it did before. I feel like you're looking at the situation and you're expecting certain things. Excuse me. This is rough energy. I'm noticing that. Because it's the Queen of Swords with the Three of Pentacles. Like, you're talking this out, you're working this out, but I feel like you're explaining, like, what happened before, you want to protect it from happening. You don't want the same thing to happen again what happened before. Even though it worked out fairly, and I feel like you might be begrudgingly agreeing with that, just like, I guess. You're kind of like, I don't want that happening again. And you seem to be working with whatever it is you're pulling into the future with you. You're explaining, like, I'm not having that work out again this way. There's something, even though it worked out fairly, the way it played out, I feel like may not be sitting with you well. It may not be the end result. It may be more about how it played out. Okay. So, what I'm getting here is you're definitely explaining it to whoever or whatever you're pulling into the future with you. You know, we're not going to have the same repeat. If you pull that crap again, I'm going to make sure you regret it. I feel like you're not pulling any punches. You're just like, if that happens again, there will be hell to pay, and it will be immediate because I will go off the handle about it. I am not kidding with you. Do not do that to me again. And I'm getting a very strong feeling like you will not do that to me again. This is face down. Safe home protection. Everything seems very secure here. I feel like you're just setting the stage, setting the precedent. Like, don't do that to me again. Don't do it. Everything does feel secure anyway, and it's face down, but I feel like you're just saying, yeah, just don't do that to me again. Don't do I feel like that really strongly, like, don't do that to me again. Don't do that. I'm not going to handle it well this time. You know, almost like they got away with a little bit of something last time, in your opinion, and you're just like, it may have worked out in the end, but that the road there, don't do that to me again. I'm telling you, don't do that to me again. I feel like that's what you're saying. Or how you're feeling at the very least. Now the other side, they got a face down card, and this is connecting these two. Okay. Alright. Because I feel like you're telling somebody, don't do that to me again. That's the Three of Swords with the Two of Cups. Now, if you're familiar with the tarot a little bit at least, you're probably going to realize, like, these two cards, they're like the opposite sides of the spectrum. Like, one is in love, the other one's heartbreak. So the person you're saying this to, they're upset. But they very much love you. This is kind of where this is transitioning. You're telling this person, you're like, don't do that to me again. I'm telling you. I feel like they're just sucking it in. They're just kind of, they're listening. I don't feel like they're pushing back, but I feel like they're kind of upset about it in the sense of like, but it worked out. Like, what's the problem? But I'm getting the Two of Cups, like, it's just a quick moment. You're not holding on to it. You're not like beating it to death. It's just one moment. You're just like, I'm telling you now, if you do that to me again, I'm going to make you regret it. I swear you're going to really regret it. And you got Mermaid Seduction between the two. This is the other side. Like, they are heartbroken that you're kind of calling them out on the situation. There's more to it that they haven't explained to you. There's definitely more to it that they haven't explained to you, and I feel like they're not gonna. Because they're definitely realizing, like, you don't want excuses. Just don't do it again. You're not looking for an explanation. Just don't do it again. I feel like that just keeps coming over and over. It's just like, I don't care what the problem was or why you did it. Don't do it again. I feel like it's coming through very strongly. And they got the Mermaid Magic Seduction face down here with the Two of Cups. I'm getting they're realizing they're going to have to keep in contact with you. They're going to have to let you know. They're not bringing forth these details about why things played out the way they did. They get that you're not in the mood to hear it anyway, because that's how it feels. But they got the Mermaid Seduction with the Two of Cups. They definitely have a lot of faith in you. They very much... That's why they're kind of the Three of Swords there. They got that heartbreak because they do realize they kind of upset you. They disappointed you. But they bounce back quickly because I feel like they're sweet-talking you after this as much as possible. And they're saying, no, I won't. No, it'll be okay. No, it's fine. And I feel like you're like, all right. And the Mermaid Seduction face down is like they're definitely giving you a bit of sugar with that. But they're definitely also realizing they have to, now that they put that bit of sugar in there, they have to hold to it. They have to hold to it. Now, as this situation you're going into goes in the future, you got the Six of Cups, and you got your face down card here is the imagination. They're saying be careful not to let your imagination run wild with you. The person you're dealing with is the person that you're dealing with. It's not going to be like it was before, but I feel like there's going to be a level of the debauchery going on still. It's just like they can't seem to help themselves. They're not purposely doing it. It's just natural mode for them. And I'm getting the Six of Cups with you with the imagination. They're saying, yes, you're looking at the history of it. You know that this person has done this more than once. They probably have like a reputation for it, quite frankly. But they're saying, don't let your imagination run wild here. Don't get all upset about something before you actually see something happening. Because remember, it did work out. It did work out. And this person is definitely trying to hold to the little bit of sugar they gave to you there. Now, as this goes on into the future, you got the Hierophant. You got the Hierophant and you got the face down card of friendship. I'm getting this person does is important to you. Let's put it that way. They're important to you at some level. And I'm getting like this is face down because you may not see them as a friend. You may see them more as a business acquaintance or something else. But this is definitely like a friendship. There's a friendship here. And I'm getting the Hierophant is like, as it goes forward, just like taking it for what it is, seeing it for what it is, and just kind of taking the good with the bad here. I feel like the pattern is still going to survive. I don't feel like it's going to be as pronounced as before, at least not in this current situation, but it's still there. Like it's like a leopard can't change its spots. Is that how that goes? I think that's the saying. Like a leopard can't change its spots. It can try to hide him, can try to get a darker coat so you can't really see those spots, but the spots are still there. The spots are still there. And I feel like you're seeing it for what it is. And I just feel like you're spot checking or just touching base, like if you catch me off guard, don't catch me off guard, I'm telling you, you're pushing your luck. But you're also, I feel like they're hoping you're going to see this in the sense of like, a leopard can't change its spots, but also at the same time, don't let your imagination run wild. Because it is going to work out. This situation is also going to work out. The Hierophant is telling me it works out the same way as it has been, but a leopard can't change its spots. I don't always say that because I'm like, some people can change to a degree, but there's like certain base things of a person's personality that they really just can't negate out. They just are who they are. And I feel like that's one of the things. And I'll say it one more time. A leopard can't change its spots. It can get a darker coat for a while, but the spots are still there. You may not be able to see them very well, but the spots are still there. All right. So I feel like that's how this is working out. All right. I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for watching. If you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.